Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this tutorial, we will explain how to make a 3D realistic metal materials, for example steel, gold and chrome materials, without using any additional plugins. So all of us will create a steel material. To start that, just open the material editor. To do that, just simply type N on your keyboard and then choose any empty slot material. Name the material to steel. Just type steel in the name option, hit enter. Change the shader model from the blend to multi-layer. Select this arrow, a drop down list will appear. Select the multi-layer. Next, set the diffuse color to fully black. For example, red equal to 0, green equal to 0 and blue also equal to 0. Then hit OK. Now let's turn our attenuation to two specular layers just beneath. They will define how shiny our metal is going to be. So set the one layer level to 120. Okay, and set glossiness to something like 480, and in anisotropy just set it to, I think it will be good, a 50 amount of 50, and finally the orientation to 15. Hit enter. Second layer setting should be like this. Now scroll down to second layer and in level panel just type 102, hit enter, and in glossiness type 17, and in anisotropy just and orientation set them, just leave them to 0. Leave the both layers colors to their default values. Now let's concentrate on the main element of every kind metal material, reflection. To do that, scroll down to the material option to map section and click on the reflection map slot. Just scroll down to the maps, click on this little plus icon and a bunch of options will be open. Now choose reflection and you can find reflection just down here. Scroll down and here is the reflection. Choose the reflection slot, click on this none button and material map browser will be open. Okay, in that just select the mask material or mask map, double click on mask, and now as you can see it has been greeted with two new map slots. Now click on the first map slot. Okay, and in the material map browser just choose ray trace, double click on ray trace. Now just go back up a level and click on the mask. Just go back and click on the map mask. Now click on the mask slot and this time just choose the file of map in the browser. Just double click on file of. After this you should get something like this in the mask map options. Just go back a level up and you should get something like that. Final part of the material is setting the file of map options. This map is what actually defines how the environment is reflected in the material. So click on the valve map settings and change the valve type to Fresnel. Just click on this arrow and a drop down list will appear. Change this to Fresnel. Then move the left anchor in the mix curve upwards just a little bit more than half of the height. So scroll down to the anchor, select one side of this and move him upward, something like that, just a little bit more than half of the height. Now just apply the finished materials to the object of your choice and hit render. Okay, as I doesn't have any object yet, so let me create a couple of objects. A sphere will be better for this demonstration. I just create a sphere. I'll leave it with the same settings. Okay, just maximize your top viewport. I'm sorry. Scroll a little bit outer, and I'm gonna create a couple of copies of this object. Okay, just another one, and this will be good. Okay, select them, and I think we also need a plane for them. So just create a plan, or we just need a floor. You can see a floor at that point. I'm setting this object just for the demonstration. You can use your own objects, whatever you want. Okay, I select them all but manually and move them up a little bit to the floor surface. Okay, select the floor and hit Z on your keyboard, and we will be maximize our viewport. It's good. Okay, now go back to your material editor, choose any one object in these three. I had created these three objects because we are going to create three materials in this video, as I mentioned earlier. So select one of those objects and click on the assign material to selection. As you can see, our created material has been assigned to this object. Just close the material map browser, go to the render and click on the render. There's the results. So just choose your own objects and hit render. I'm just doing that just for the demonstration. So we had created only one material in this video, which was just a simple steel. So in our next video we are going to create a gold material. So stay with me.